and for the Spectre trying to write a new story for themselves.
Well, the Bulls going to be especially vitalized now as their chances of claiming that coveted MLE championship are becoming slimmer and slimmer with the elimination of their Champion League team. We're only moments away from the players taking the field and us getting underway with game number 1. Again, Premier League Bulls and Spectre. They're on the field. We're ready to go. Thunderballs, this is going to be a fun game.
Oh, more than fun. I think we're in for another heater of a match here. If you take a quick gander at how the players stack up against one another stats-wise, Gambachi on the side of the Bulls is a player to watch, but I think the Spectre is the team to watch here early.
Yeah, Snip doing a good job of just taking advantage of the open space that Els gave him. Wave was trying to get there, hesitation, his downfall, and it allows the Spectre to get on the board early. But, you know, you were mentioning stats. I think that's going to be a critical thing to look at in this game as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a battle of pretty big disparity between seeds. The Bulls are the 7th seed here, and the Spectre scoring another goal are the 2 seed. Obviously, they're showing us why.
Yeah, and man, they just really don't want us to talk about stats right now. Every time we try and get into the meat of what makes these teams great, they just keep putting bangers in on goal. And we're 15 seconds into game 1, and they're already off to a 2-0 lead.
I mean, hey, we got lots of time to talk about stats. Let's get into the game here because we got too much going on. Oh my goodness. Do we even need to talk at this point?
I feel like every time we say the word stat or statistic, a goal goes in the back of the net. Snip just not able to make it back in time. That's 3 goals in under 20 seconds. Kick-off goals have been the name of the game so far as it's a 2-1 lead, still in favor of the Spectre. But we're finally going to see it slow down a little bit here as Gambachi tries to put it in midfield. It's a block, but Wave receives. Gambachi will look to pick this up on top of his car. He gets a good 50 on Els. Tries to get a pass out the Wave, but it's broken of art. A Snip looks to get a hit off the back wall. He gave up on that play. I thought he could have potentially gone for a double there. But now the Bulls pressing deep in the Spectre's half. It'll be Els to clear it back downfield. Gambachi with possession gets it around 1. It's going to fall straight to Snip. And after a very, very quick start for both of these teams, I feel like this game is just going to be Caster's curse all the way.
How could you not think that? I mean, you literally were leading into talking about how the game had settled into a rhythm, and the players, especially Els here, was like, no, sorry, we're going to score another goal and keep this party going.
Yeah, they're just like, the rhythm is we keep scoring goals. Els going to look to try and do that again here as he takes it off the side wall, looks to get the flip reset, but Gambachi stays in front. Trying to get those playoff plays. Snip sends it through, and right as I talk about trying to get those playoff plays, a potential play of the week shot deep from the sidewall.
Man, that was a close effort there by Els on that flip reset, but it resulted in the Bulls panicking a little bit, and Snip taking full advantage just fires the ball off the wall there.
Once Els winning the kickoff again, he'll grab the corner boost. Wave with possession. Send it into the side wall. It's blocked by Snip. Ooh, Gambachi gets a good save there on the goal line. They're still down by 3 with 3:30 to go. Another banger coming in on net. Wave able to just get in front. Gambachi forced to take that off his back wall. Snip turning on it quickly. It's a double commit from the Bulls on that side. Snip low on boost, not able to follow it through. He looks to pick it up again, slowing down the play, not able to get it around Wave, though. It's back in front for Els again, and the consistent pressure leading to just so much open space for the Spectre to take advantage of.
Oh, I wanted to wait and see on the replay what happened there, but sure enough, I think Snip tied Gambachi up there on defense just enough and turned him around to the point where it gave an open shooting opportunity to the Spectre, and their lead's even bigger now.
That's another good win there from Wave. Gambachi got bumped, was looking for the double. It's a high shot there from Wave. Missed opportunity for the Bulls to try and start climbing their way back. It's a 4-goal deficit. They need to take advantage of all of those open opportunities that they can, as Els just looking to sneak it by. Snip off the back wall to beat Gambachi. Els to recover. Be another shot, but wide. As Gambachi looks to take it away. He'll get it over to Wave. Shot near net, but Snip to receive. It'll be back in front again from Wave. Gambachi hanging around, sends a shot up high, but it's not going to be able to sneak past the bar. Counterattack now for Spectre. Snip up, but L's far back in the half, and it ends up paying off as this boomer of a clear comes dangerously close to being on target.
I gotta say, it's been nice to see a long stretch of gameplay finally after so many goals going back and forth. I think we're getting a better picture of how these teams stack up against one another in possession. The scoreline might not say it, but this series could end up being closer than you might think.
Ooh, Snip was looking for the Doomsy dish there. Wasn't able to wrap around it, the ball just getting away from him. But the passing plays continue. That's a great clear from Wave. Gambachi now has an opportunity to try and grab another one back, but Snip finding the touch. What a save from Snip there. It keeps the 4-goal lead alive. And the Bulls now scrambling to try and find a response to them in this game.
That was such a great effort there, too, from Gambachi, and what seemed like he had Snip beat. It was the most minuscule touch from Snip on that final effort that sent the ball careening up into the air and kept it such a wide goal margin for the Spectre.
Sells again now. Takes it into the corner. Air dribble downfield, but it's not quick enough. Gambachi able to easily read that. Be off the back wall again. Actually pings out the corner. Wave had an opportunity but couldn't get it on target, so it'll be Snip wrapping around, grabs that boost. He's got L's in middle for support. It's Gambachi intercepts. That's actually dropping dangerously close, but no pressure coming from the Bulls right now. And it feels like all of their opportunities are off banger clears, and we're not really seeing any sort of sustained pressure coming from them, which is something the Spectre have been doing phenomenally this game.
It's going to take that. Oh, the Bulls here catching a nice chance there in midfield. But you make a good point. Even with that second goal going in, it's going to take sustained pressure and pressure from both players to beat this Spectre team. I think we can clearly see that after this offensive showing from the Spectre.
Well, 5-2 now. The Bulls, still a chance. Still a chance in this game, but time quickly running away. It's Gambachi. He's on top of his car, looks to get a fake on L's, but he can't get it through. That's a good follow-up from Wave, however. He gets demoed for his efforts, and now time becoming a critical factor. So it's cleared back into the Bulls' half. It'll be Wave clearing it back down, but time now extra thin, and it's looking bleak for the Bulls to try and make a comeback here. They looked solid at points under ball, but they're really going to need to try and make some sort of offensive change heading into this game too.
They are. It's a reshuffling of the strategy that needs to happen, because what they're going for right now, when you mentioned those banger clears and trying to catch them off guard with just hitting hard, that's not going to be enough to beat the defense of this Spectre team. It's going to take a little bit more of a coordinated effort. And the Spectre, man, that's a big statement to make in game one here.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. The Spectre just absolutely dominant on the field. It's a term that I like to use because it's a term that is so critical in twos. They were controlling the pace of play. They were always just in full and utter control of where the ball was, what the Bulls were doing, where they needed to be positioned, and they were able to use that to their advantage. We started to see glimpses from the Bulls, but it just, in the end, wasn't enough to really match the efficiency that we're seeing coming out of the Spectre team, and that is going to have to change. They need to get more clinical, the Bulls do, in this game too, if they're going to have any hope of getting the series into their control.
You're right that they started to show flashes of brilliance, or at least flashes of a presence, but it was late. Obviously, it wasn't enough to pull the momentum back in their favor and take the first game. You almost always see a team, especially in a playoff series that has a lot of bearing like this one, you'll see a team, whoever's got the most jitters is going to start a little slow and tentative. That was clearly the Bulls here, but it took them too long to get the motor running in this first game. Hopefully, they've got a footing now and they can make it a more even contest going into game two.
Well, only time will tell. It's 1-0 in favor of the Spectres as we head into game two on Neo Tokyo. Purple and red, the colors on the field as we get ready to go. The Spectre looked absolutely outstanding offensively. The Bulls had no response. And we'll see what is able to come out of them there as they are taking the field, taking their time. Gambachi, there we go. I was worried for a moment that we weren't going to be able to get into the game, but Gambachi very graciously decides to join us on the field, and we're able to get things underway.
Maybe just an extra moment of gathering themselves were the Bulls there, taking an extra breather there after what was a pretty spicy game from the Spectre in Game 1. They just need that extra moment to gather themselves.
One snip. Oh my, almost getting the bounce over top of Gambachi, but the save, S-A-V-E coming through. The snip trying again to push this off the side wall. Be him looking to get it through again. It's a bump on Gambachi as it comes to this right side. Els straight in to Gambachi, but Snip able to recover it again. It's not a touch from Gambachi. Snip's got Els right in front. Fake coming through. Wave reads it all the way and stops that attack straight in its tracks.
That's great patience from Wave there. Ooh, almost coming back the other way. A rebound shot. My, that was a close chance for the Bulls there, but at the very least, Wave stopped the goal from happening on the other end with nice patience and composure on the goal line.
Ooh, now Els has possession. He's going to look to try and get it back by Gambachi. With neither Bulls player opting to go for that ball there. It's Wave who finally has to put pressure on it. Snip getting a touch above of Gambachi there. It's Wave back on. Els dropped down. It was a save credited because that ball trajectory was heading towards net, but it was a rather easy one. It's now Snip just losing possession of the ball there. And the sort of attacking ferocity that we saw out of both squads early on in Game 1 is just not present right now.
No, it's a different pace of game here. I mean, let's be honest, it's hard to match the pace of goals we saw in game number 1. That was a bit ridiculous there at the beginning. But you're right that it's the character of the game has changed. Uh-oh, trouble here for the Spectre. Bulls now taking their first lead.
And this is just a good follow-up from Gambachi. Snip tries to beat him to it, but Gambachi one step ahead to be able to get that through, and we see them take a 1-0 lead.
That's nice there from the Bulls. Really, it needed to happen early in this game, as I was mentioning. They need to reclaim control if they're going to get a footing in this series. That goal could be a huge difference maker for them as we look down the stretch.
Well, it's still in front of the net here is Wave. Looks to put that into Els. Gets it off the side wall. Looks to push it through. Gambachi now going to send it downfield again. A Snip takes a shot near net. Wave gets a touch, but he's not going to be able to get it off target. And it'll be 1-1 in this game.
You didn't get to see the player perspective there, perhaps, but for Wave, that's such a difficult play to make when the ball gets sent directly over your head from behind. It's so disorienting from a camera perspective to see where that ball is and where you need to jump. Can't blame Wave for not making the save there, but it means an even game here as we go forward.
Ooh, Gambachi almost able to get past there. Was looking for the double touch. It's off the wall again. Wave gets his double touch. It's wide, not wide, saved. But Gambachi bailing him out. 2-1 now in favor of the Bulls, who are starting to find their stride here in game number 2.
It's nice to see the aggressiveness creeping in here for the Bulls. They're playing a little bit tighter offensively and closer to the ball. Sometimes that can be risky, but it's the confidence that they need here to get themselves back in this series after being down a game.
Well, it's Gambachi taking control yet again. It's going to be floating down. Snip over to Els. Els with possession. It'll be blocked by Wave. As Wave looks to take it. Trying to sneak it past Snip here. He grabs the boost. Gambachi supporting in mid is a great pass. Great finish. Great goal. 3-1 Bulls.
Wave, what a play here off of the wall. We got to see firsthand in the caster view there how much visibility Wave had at his waiting partner down there in Gambachi. He'd waited just the right amount of time and made the perfect touch to make it shootable.
Another shot coming in right off kickoff from Els. Wave, though, prepared this time for it. It'll be straight back into mid. That is a dangerous play. I don't know what you're thinking there, Els. He had you beat by a mile, and that decision directly leads to this goal getting scored.
Absolutely. That's a pretty uncharacteristic overcommit from the Spectre, who have, for all intents and purposes, so far been pretty clean on rotations. But hopefully that doesn't creep in anymore, because obviously the Bulls are ready to immediately punish them for being irresponsible like that.
It's back up near the ceiling again. Spectre will look to regain control. Oh, gets it past one. Wave, final man back as Els trying to wrap it around, but he loses control. Wave now with possession, but it's a good block from Snip. It'll be straight back to Gambachi. However, Wave there gets the bump in. Play of the week material. That could land him a case of balls. Garana, what a bump on that play.
Oh my goodness. What a play there from Wave. Waiting downfield. Initially, I thought he was going to go for a redirect and maybe try to make a play that way, but totally shifts perspective. And dear God, that was an insane bump. Bulls are going to add another goal here. This is a complete momentum swing from game one. It's totally the other way now.
Setting up our Brazil here. Gambachi finds another excellent angle. He uses the post to his advantage to send it through, and the Bulls just running away with this game. There's 95 seconds left, but it would be a miracle for the Spectres, and it is a trip to Brazil as Gambachi just boiling that ball through goal.
Man, the Spectre just looking like a couple of deer in headlights here in the tail end of this game. It's Swiss cheese on defense with everything just seeming to bleed through and head towards the net. And the Bulls, I mean, happy to take those opportunities. There's very little chance that the Bulls don't level the series at this point. It would be an astronomical effort from the Spectre.
And this is a Bulls team that was coming into this game as the underdogs. They were the 7th seed in playoff. Spectre the 2nd as they scored their 2nd goal of this game too. The Bulls playing out of their mind right now. They need to keep it up. The Spectre still showing they have the attacking prowess, but they just haven't been showing it all game long here.
No, and it might be a wide goal margin here for the Bulls, but you can't give a team like the Spectre daylight in the tail end of this game and give them any momentum back their way. Because if you let that bleed through into the next game, you could find yourselves back in trouble the way you were in game one.
Els looking to get it by again. Gambachi with a good block. Be off to this left side. 60 seconds now, all that remains. As Gambachi flicks it over, not able to get that in on net. It'll be Snip now, looking to get it around. Wave with the touch away. Pop off the corner as Snip looks to drop it for Els. It almost works. Gambachi able to just get in the way. What a backflip from Els there. Snip able to finish it off, and a good play here. I think it's a little bit too little too late, but a solid move to build some momentum heading into game 3.
That was a nice little play there, a combination of a fortunate bounce off of the waterfall on the top of the wall and nice awareness from Els not to bail on the play too early. Turned into a cheeky little backflip pass there, and even more momentum as I talked about for the Spectre. This could be dangerous for the Bulls if it keeps going unchecked.
Well, speaking of going unchecked, that's defense didn't have anything to check. That ball just easily glides on in. No one able to get around to it in time. Actually saying that looked like a bump from Gambachi on Els that pushed him out of position. I didn't catch that live, but what a play again.
Oh, it was a huge bump. I barely saw that player get sent out of frame when the goal was scored, but you got a way better view of it on the replay there. They got absolutely hammered, and that made it an open net for the Bulls player.
Well, 11. Well, make that 12 goals scored in this game 2. And even though the Bulls are going to be up in the, or not up in the series, they're going to get the series back level 1 all. The Spectre have shown that they still can push these through. If they can get their efficiency back, we've got one hell of a series on our hands.
Absolutely. You have to wonder what it was that may have caused the momentary lapse on the side of the Spectre that let the Bulls gain such a huge lead in this particular game, because otherwise, as we get into the tail end of this game, Spectre are kind of back into the form you might have seen in game 1, and I hope that both of these teams, if we look towards game 3, can now keep those styles up consistently, because if that's the case, we've got a serious series on our hands in the last 3 games.
8-4. That's a monstrous scoreline right there between these two teams. Just an incredible showing between this, and moving into this game 3, it's going to be interesting to see what sort of changes are made, because the Spectre, all they, I think, really need to do is just start being more efficient on their side of the ball.
I think so, but honestly, they may already have made that change. If you look at how the last fifth of that game went, it might be that if they can just keep up what they were doing in the tail end of game 2, they can keep straight on rolling and not really have to change much more than that. More so what fell apart for them in this last game was the mid game, and I think it was that irresponsible challenge we saw from Els that kind of started the landslide for them the other way. But if they can curb that, I think they're in pretty good territory here to set themselves up for a good series here on out.
I absolutely agree. We're getting things underway. There's a quick controller switch happening on the side of the Bulls. I believe one of their thumbsticks broke, so we'll see them in just a moment. But heading into this game 3, it turns into essentially another best of 3 situation here, Thunderballs, and that's going to be crucially important because, you know, we see the Bulls, again, we've mentioned it last series, we've mentioned it in this series. If they can get a win here, they'll move on to the semifinals, and they'll continue their trek to try and claim the first championship in MLE history for that franchise.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a test of fortitude for the team that drops this next game. Obviously, I think it's an even contest, and either team could get up 2-1 in this series. But then when you look at the game after that, when you're staring down the barrel of being dropped in this playoff series and you need to show real composure on the field and get back into the series, the Bulls have a lot to live for in their franchise history, and they weren't able to do that, it appears, in the past with MLE. But I think more so, all eyes are going to be on them to see if they can rewrite a little bit of history here and get some redemption towards an eventual championship, hopefully.
Hopefully, we're just a few moments away from getting into this game 3. There is a lot on the line again here. It's going to be critically important for these teams to start off strong. And when we see this, we saw kickoff goals play a huge factor in game 1. Thunderballs, we're going to see if that happens again here as we get ready to take the field in game number 3. We've got the players on the field. The controller issue has been resolved, and we are good to go because whoever wins this game is going to be up on series point.
And that's very dangerous territory for the other team. As we mentioned, it's never a comfortable place to be. And if you want to talk about a swing game in this series, each team has made a statement in the first 2 games that we played that they can play offense when they need to. So this game, both in series score and in momentum for teams, is a crucial one.
Well, Snip almost able to get a clear down field. It'll be Els. Takes a shot near target. It'll be cleared away from Wave. Snip dropping that down. It'll be Gambachi again, pushing it to the right side. He'll take another shot off the back wall. It pings from the hit from Els. This Wave gets the hit, but he gets demoed for his effort. Snip will take control. This will be a pinch back into the Spectre half. Wave now trying to get this in for Gambachi. Takes the shot. Snip gets in front. Wave, is that on? No, it's not. It'll be wide, but the opportunity was there. Els losing possession of the ball. Gambachi just can't find it. It's up to Wave finally to get a clear off the backboard. And 1 minute into this game, it's still 0-0. Yes, it is still 0-0 as that shot from Wave is blocked.
That's been, I think, 3 very crucial saves. They might have gone a little bit unnoticed, but the Spectre, that's a few defensive plays that have kept this game level early on. And let's see if the Bulls can finally break through here. Or, oh, maybe the Spectre are going to score first. Whoa, these are close chances. This is really heating up.
Gambachi sending that back into Snip. He'll be back downfield. Snip looking for a double. Almost gets to it before Wave. It's Wave trying to flip around it here. He'll get it off the back wall. Gambachi, bit slow to receive. He'll be back in mid again. Wave trying to pass over to Gambachi, but it's cleared away from Snip. Gambachi actually accelerating the pace in which the ball enters his own half. It's Gambachi sending another one downfield. It's on target. Snip not able to get the underneath touch. It's 1-0 favor of the Bulls.
You can never give any player in Premier League another space, or you can never give them as much space as the Spectre just gave Gambachi. Obviously, they need to have somebody pressuring that ball in the front end to keep Gambachi from having an open shot like that. And they got burnt for it, even from that far down the field. If you're not positioned correctly, you're going to get scored on.
Well, it's up into the corner again. What a double demo! Well, that you don't see that every day, ladies and gentlemen. They're not able to capitalize on it, but man, talk about physical plays coming out.
That's a true double demo. That's not the usual one that we see where it's one followed by the other. That was literally two players at the same time getting disintegrated by the player there. I can't believe it didn't turn into an advantageous play on offense, but I mean, just as a spectacle seen once in this series, it's amazing.
Els sending it in again. Wave unable to find that touch. It'll be 1-all in this game as we cross over into the second half. Snip just able to get it right in there, and Wave a bit too far back, but not close enough. Was in the wrong position necessary to make that happen, and the Spectre are able to get themselves back level in a critical moment.
Got half of the game done now, and it's totally split between these teams as we look forward. It's split in the series. Gambachi, that was a close effort from the Bulls there. And this is really getting tense down the stretch between these two teams. It's so important to score the next goal in this game.
Els looking to make it happen again. It's a good block from Gambachi. His Wave trying to send it down, but it's still there. Snip gets a bump on one. Wave doesn't find it. Good shot from Els to finish things off. 2-1 as the Spectre take the lead.
That's the crucial goal we were talking about. Look at Gambachi get interrupted on the wall there by Snip. It may not have been totally intentional, but that was the difference maker. Gambachi, who was ready to dive across the goal mouth, instead got turned around, and it left Wave just helpless on the ground in net.
Snip will get a clear over to this left side. Wave will push it into the sidewall. That's actually coming near goal. Snip has to push it away. It'll be Els now to try and route it out of the Spectre half. Snip grabs the boost. An opportunity for Wave on that open net, and it's an opportunity for Gambachi on the open net, and that is when they capitalize.
Bulls making full use of a pretty ambiguous corner bounce there. Can't blame Snip for not knowing which way that one was going, but Gambachi read it perfectly and buried the shot thereafter.
Kickoff again here. Go in favor of the Bulls as Snip tries to wrap back around. It'll be on the Spectre back wall. Looks for a ground pinch, doesn't find it. Els was trying to get for the clear, but no touch for him. As that is going to be cleared away. It's actually dangerously close as Els looks to close down the distance here. It's going to be straight down to Snip, almost able to get that off, but Gambachi diving in front to find the touch. They'll be in front again. It's a good block from Els. Snip now trying to wrap around as Gambachi gets that in defense. He's able to get it over one, but he can't get it on target. Close call as the Spectre trying to get back in the lead.
Really close chances, both for the Spectre and for the Bulls. Though, that's trouble there. Man, these are coming from missed touches, from dribbles, from every arena of the field. It's such a complete game happening on both ends, and it's only a matter of time before one of them scores, I feel.
Gambachi trying to get it around. He gets a demo on Els. Wave pushing it off the corner. Snip receives that and clears it to the right side. Off the side wall. Els pushing it off the corner. Be off the side wall again. It's Snip now fighting with Wave. He's able to get it across field. Gambachi doesn't find the touch. Final 20 seconds. I think we're either going to see a goal or we're going to see overtime. Spectre pushing now. It's Els over top, off the bar. Snip puts it through. And now with 9 seconds remaining, the Spectre look to go up on series point.
Oh man, the ball just dancing excruciating across the goal line there. I honestly couldn't tell if that was going to be on target or not. What a tense moment there, and it's turned into a Spectre lead very late here.
Kickoff again. It's going to be Wave taking possession. He gets it over top one. They've got to score now, or they're going to be facing series point the rest of the way through. He loses possession. Els should just drop it down. He actually gives it away. It's still in front. Wave not able to put it on target. And Els gets away with one there, but they cut it dangerously close to accidentally sending that game to overtime.
Very dangerously. That was left really up to Wave there on being able to put a powerful and well-placed shot on net. It looked to me, I couldn't tell for sure, but it might have been a boost starvation situation that Wave couldn't make the play that he wanted to. But regardless, the Spectre barely scraping out a win there over the Bulls and are now one step closer to winning a playoff series.
One step indeed. They just got to put together at least 5 minutes of solid Rocket League, and they will move on to the semifinals. And the Bulls will continue what has been a dreadful night for them up to this point. We'll see what ends up happening. I think the Spectre have what it takes, but we've seen just plays of brilliance come out of the Bulls, and if they can string those together, they have a solid chance of getting things back in line, but it's going to be a tall order with how well this Spectre team has been playing.
Absolutely. Neither team is really giving up that much ground if you think about it, and you can tell by how close that game was. After the two minor or major blowouts that we saw in games 1 and 2, these teams are really starting to square off against one another. And looking forward to game number 4. This is now crunch time for the Bulls. They are in major trouble here, and it's an answer needed right away.
That it is. Game number 4. It's going to be absolutely critical for these two teams. Spectre up on series point, trying to close things out right here, right now to move on to the semifinals. We'll see what happens in this Premier League matchup. Snip takes it on top of his car. He's not able to get it around. Els will look to follow things up, but it'll fall straight back to Wave and send it downfield. Off the corner, Wave to receive again. He's got 2 to beat, and he doesn't beat either. Snip will look to slow things down, try and get this around. He's able to get past 1. Gambachi there to receive. It's back to Els in midfield. It forces Snip to take a last-second touch. As Gambachi looks to wrap around this, he's able to get possession, but he's not able to wrap it around. I thought he might have had it, but we're seeing actually some pretty slow gameplay coming out of this game right now.
We are. It's due in part to the fact that, we saw it primarily from Wave. He spent so much time in the Spectre's defensive zone with no boost, seemingly unwilling to let go of the play. And it felt like all the players were just deadlocked that way, not with a lot of resources, but not willing to give up an inch of space. And hey, I can't blame them for that. This is such a crucial juncture in the series right now.
Off the corner yet again, Wave gets a solid 50-50. He's got Snip rotating back around just in time to get back in front, but Wave not giving up on the ball yet. They actually end up double committing because of that. And now Gambachi just trying to get boost on his way through. Els gets a great pass. Snip gave up on the play. Could have been an opportunity for the Spectre to take the lead there. But the Spectre continuing their push in this half. It'll be off the corner again. Els trying to sneak it away. Now the counter beginning for the Bulls is Wave. Battling with Els right now. He actually maintains possession, but Els sticking with the play able to clear it back into the side.
I'm noticing a little bit of a pattern here that could be very dangerous for the Bulls and for Wave in particular. There's an unwillingness to let go of possession in the front end and let Gambachi rotate through in turn. And if he continues to play that way, Gambachi, who's been such a difference maker in this series, is going to feel ineffective. And that's so dangerous when you're facing match point here.
Well, Wave gets another solid clear into this as Snip and Els try and frantically get back. They get a solid demo. That prevents Gambachi from even being able to go up to that, which was critical. Neither of them really in the best positions to defend a shot. As that shot pings off the post and back out, Gambachi's got to feel gutted. That was his goal to score. The woodwork says no.
I had my view almost entirely obscured by that demo explosion. I don't know about you, but I couldn't even tell if the shot was in, off the post, where it was headed. But I didn't see a goal explosion, so at the end of the day, that's all the evidence I had to guess whether it was a score or not. Ooh, close chance there, but fended off again by the Bulls.
Be off the sidewall from Snip. Wave clearing it back into the corner. 2 minutes, we're still scoreless in this game as the Bulls drastically double commit. Just an ugly play from them, and the Spectre rightfully score on that.
That's exactly what I was talking about on unwillingness to give up offensive rotation and let your teammate engage on the play. There, I think it was as much Gambachi's fault for overcommitting as it was Wave's, but finally the Wolves get burned for that pattern that was developing, and now they're in serious trouble.
Well, Els taking that off the hands of Wave will look to slow things down in his corner. Time certainly on the Spectre side. If they can get another goal, they'll be feeling pretty comfortable, but they're going to need to get another goal now as Gambachi able to get things back level.
Difficult read here in the corner for Snip and Els. I don't think either of them were sure whether that was going to roll up the wall or not. And we saw a very similar situation last time where Gambachi was the only one who read the bounce right and once again does so and steams the shot right into the net.
So another attack here coming away from Wave, almost able to get that in on goal, but Spectre getting in front. Els doing a good job of finding that one as he sends it downfield. Snip looking for the redirect. What a play to send it through, and the Spectre retake the lead.
Els absolutely fired this ball downfield, and Snip was positioned so well, aggressively enough that they could get an early touch on it and left the Bulls defender with no chance of saving that.
Well, now 1-2-3, that's the time on the board. 2-1 is the score. As the Spectre on series point look to close things out here and now in game number 4. Will be a great clear away. Gambachi slows it down, but Wave not in the greatest of positions to react to get sent back downfield again from the Spectre. Snip looks for a challenge there on Gambachi, but doesn't find it as Gambachi sends it towards net. The demo critical there as the final 60 seconds begin to tick away. Death timer well and truly started for the Bulls in this situation, and the Spectre don't seem to be letting off the gas an inch.
Not at all. This is very important passage of play here as it's in the Bulls' end. If they can get it out and get an attack going, they've got a chance, but otherwise the Spectre are completely controlling the game right now.
What's Els? Possession yet again, looking to get it around. Gambachi with a good 50-50. Trying to follow it up, it comes back out to Wave, who wasn't necessarily prepared, but deals with it the best he can. Gambachi sitting really far back right now, especially with the situation at hand. And that is a huge hit downfield from Els. 15 seconds now, that's all that remains. Gambachi doesn't get the touch. Snip doesn't push out of fear. It could be an opportunity as it sends downfield. Final 10 seconds. A clear away, but a hit keeps it in. Els pushing it away. They can't let it touch the ground. Wave able to keep it in the air. Gambachi so far away, but it's still up. It's not going to be a corner. And the Spectre take the series 3-1. So the Bulls fought valiantly to try and push that to a game 5.
Very valiantly. It amounted to one chance that they had. The Spectre did such a great job of burning the clock and maintaining most of the control at the end of that game. The Bulls got a little bit of daylight there, not much, and they just couldn't capitalize and get close enough to the net to give themselves a chance. It's heartbreaking to see a series go down in what could have been a pretty electric game 5, but big congratulations to the Spectre for winning, as far as franchise goes, only their second playoff series ever. And for the Premier League team, it's the first time they've ever appeared in the playoffs. So they're already making a pretty storied history for themselves here.
Absolutely. It's a great showing from them. I'm excited to see how they do moving forward in the semifinals next week. But as for the quarterfinals, we've still got a lot more to go, Thunderballs. We've got 2 more series to wrap up things tonight, the first of which being the Wizards and Tyrants, which will be up next. And then to cap off this weekend will be the Outlaws and the Shadow. So really exciting to see how that's all going to play out. Don't go anywhere. Loads more Rocket League on its way right here on Minor League Esports.